perfect.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio in Matawan, New Jersey. Beautiful downtown Matawan, New Jersey. That's right, one of the most luxurious towns in all of New Jersey. We're coming to you live from the Cabinet Creation Sports Desk with a very special guest. Of course, we got a loaded show today. It is Sturch. It is Gooch. It is a lighter, skinnier, thinner Jimmy Palumbo, and of course Dina behind the glass, Wrestling Rob. We got Dom and fucking Mark and everybody. There's just a big crowd here today. We got a lot to go on, and Ashley is coming in right away asking, do you know what day it is? I can't say hump day, but I'm gonna guess it's baby day, right?
It is in fact baby day.
You corny man. All right, so it's baby day according to all sources. But anyway, lots to go over today.
It's also April Fool's Day.
It is April Fool's Day.
Be a perfect match for this.
And good. Look at the face Gooch is making.
I have such an issue. I feel like when you say it's April Fool's Day today without an April Fool's joke accompanying that statement, then you're an idiot. Not you specifically, but just generally, people are dumb.
It's
idiots.
like, and to make the comparison, it's like when you're
name dropping. If I'm
dropping and you're like
eighth round, and you're like, I can't believe this guy's still there, and it's like,
and you're there,
I was
like,
gonna pick him in 4 picks from
now
until now you said his name, but. Now I was going to do an April Fool's joke, and Jimmy ruined it. Now everybody knows it's April Fool's.
What can I tell you? You know, I hit the home run to win the game. You were on deck. What are you going to do? You should be cheering me on anyway. That's how it works.
I feel like
I walked up to the girl, asked her to dance. You didn't.
You think that you hit a home run right there? I think that you grounded into a double play. You didn't give me a chance to even
finish the joke. You froze, which is the new thing. You're like fucking Bruce Willis the way you freeze up.
Right wait, I don't know if we can do the Bruce Willis jokes right now.
Jesus Christ.
Are we allowed to do Bruce Willis?
No,
I guess not.
He's a Jersey guy. He's a nice guy.
All right. Well, Bruce Willis, by the way, yippee-ki-yay. So anyway, if you want to support Chop Sports, you can do so by heading on over to patreon.com and to do a / this time around. It's a Friday, / Friday. You can do patreon.com / whatever. Chop Sports. Go support us. $3, $5, $10 increments to pay us for doing this show, because a show this good shouldn't be free, but it is, and that's what we're going to continue to do for you. Otherwise, outside of that, YouTube, obviously, youtube.com is our home, is where we live here. We just crossed over the 1,000 subscriber threshold, so now we're just raking in the dough. All of a sudden, we are making it rain over here. We have just crossed over 1,030 people. So continue to spread the word, like this video. That helps us a lot. And of course, Dat Chat, one of our new social medias. None of you guys probably have even experienced this yet. Dat Chat is the new wave of social media. They're a publicly traded company. My buddy Glenn runs them. It's a perfect way not to get caught doing anything. There's no screenshots. There's no you can make your own message explode like within moments. Like there's a little time bomb and just boom, and it's no more, like MacGyver style. Just Jack Bauer.
What kind of porn is on this?
Nothing? A lot. Okay. A lot of bots, because every day I get like, hello, sexy time, yes. And I'm like, sure, come on, let's go. Let's do this. So anyway, so Dat Chat, check those guys out. New podcast available on the network today, and that is the Cross Court Cast with Scoop and Cousin Vinny. They talk about putting pineapple on pizza, which is sacrilege in my world. If you do that, you're a piece of garbage. So no offense. What? Dina, there's no way. Don't do it. You say yes or no. Yes. So you put pineapple. That's what is it? Atrocious.
It's atrocious.
Disgusting.
The pineapple juice mixes with the cheese and the sauce.
Anyway, good morning to the chat. Obviously, we said hello to Ashley before. Bailey coming in, Carl coming in, Michael Fusco of Fusco Insurance coming in, Mark from Canada coming in as well. So it's a big night. Before we get into all the things Jimmy Palumbo related, because we all know it's all about Jimmy. Sports headlines to talk about real quick, to brush over some things that really did kind of catch the news. I got a text from Chris Payne this morning, our resident chop cop, and he said that DeGrom is getting an MRI, ladies and gentlemen, already with a sore, tight shoulder. Oh, boy. Are we in that realm already? We got Scherzer coming off of dead arm. We got DeGrom with undisclosed injuries, Gooch. Where are we going with this Mets rotation? If they lose those two guys, forget it.
If they lose both, well, DeGrom, there's a little cause for concern, but with Scherzer, I'm not really sure. I think Scherzer will be fine. Last year, there was a dead arm because they didn't really pitch much. I think Scherzer's going to be fine. They did get Bassett. So if DeGrom is out for an extended period, the Mets rotation looks very similar to the way it did last year. It's just take DeGrom out and put in Scherzer. So it's still good. You know, the Mets will compete this year. They improved their lineup a little bit, but they're not going to compete for a world title if DeGrom is hurt.
You know what
No
stinks.
way.
You know what stinks about that. I'm not a Met fan at all, and I don't mind the Mets. I'll if the Mets get good, they'll annoy me around July or August. I'm like, all right,
Sure.
Met fans, calm down. But you know what sucks? I hate when the big stars, even in football or something, Brady, Rodgers, those kind of guys. There's nothing worse. Like, even though like I'm pissed they're not on the Yankees pitching.
Mm-hmm.
I like baseball. I want to see these guys pitch, and to have these like half shoulder injuries, they can't pitch. Same thing with that guy Wright.
David Wright was back.
David Wright, like he was such a great player. Mattingly hurting his back.
I was just going to say David Wright and Don Mattingly almost the same trajectory.
It's like these guys still had like 4 or 5 years of good baseball.
Right.
So the fact that they might be out is awful.
Yeah, so that's in the world of the Mets. You can tune into Till Mets Do Us Part, which just dropped with John Sapanaro, Matt Ibanez. Those guys also go over all of things Mets. They brought on another guest. They got guests out the ass over there. So
who brought that show to Chop Sports?
The liaison!
Getting involved
Chop
here.
Sports getting involved.
He hasn't talked to me since, John Sapanaro. Isn't that funny?
Hey, John,
Hey, John, listen, if
No.
you're listening, I got you on this network, and you don't even return my phone calls.
He also doesn't listen, I don't think. It's like 6 a.m. right now in LA.
Yeah, he's out in Cal. Sunny, beautiful California. He just says it every time. Football, Bobby Wagner, my boy Bobby Wagner, who I was politicking for to the umph degree to go to the Cowboys, signs a 5-year deal, $50 million with the Los Angeles Rams, who apparently have turned salary cap off in their video game because they are just signing guys out the ass again. Apparently, all of this stuff is front-loaded, and they have a way out. But if this 5-year deal plays out, he's going to be 37 when it's all said and done. So I don't know if this is one of those things I have to worry about as far as like he might be a free agent at 34 again.
It's very rare when you see a team win the Super Bowl and then win the offseason.
They're crushing
2 years in a row. Tampa Bay kind of won last offseason as well. They got everybody back. They returned the entire team. It didn't work out for them. But Les Snead, dude, this GM, everybody needs to take notes. I feel like the salary cap is put into place for owners to explain away to their fan base why they didn't spend money. But when you're seeing here is clearly it's just a scapegoat cop-out because the Rams haven't had money for 4 years. I went through the list of guys that they've added. Aaron Donald, they extended. Matthew Stafford, I understand.
He got the bag.
Jared Goff contract made that possible. Goff's contract was actually worse than Stafford going into that trade. But they did extend Stafford. They signed Allen Robinson. They got Jalen Ramsey. They even acquired Von Miller, Odell Beckham. I could keep going, but you get it. Bobby Wagner now. Dude, Bobby Wagner, career high in tackles last year at 170.
Still
10 straight seasons with 100 tackles or more. 6 Pro Bowls. As recent as last year, he makes the Pro Bowl. I'm confused how the Rams are able to add a caliber
confused
player.
How there wasn't more of a sweepstakes for this guy. And apparently Ravens made a counter offer or a competitive offer, but they just fell short. But again, it just goes to like, and of course, my boy Mark in here, he's a Cowboys fan. He knows, like, right? Yeah, you're a Cowboys
Isn't
fan.
he the great-great-grandson of Honus Wagner or no?
Yes. He's so the Cowboys fans are frustrated because these guys they're worried about hanging a banner that says salary cap champions because we're under the cap. We're doing it right. Like, I don't care if you're doing it right. Obviously, nobody else is doing it right. People are spending money out the ass in the offseason, and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing on James Washington for a 1-year deal. Like, and don't get me wrong. I like Fowler, too. Fowler coming in, too, with a 3-year deal, I believe. So there's moves that they're making, but it's like you got the money. You said you were doing all this cap space move. You trade away Cooper. You get rid of Collins. You make all this room. And then you have Bobby Wagner basically saying, I'll play for you guys. Well, and then they're like, nah, we don't even want to bring you in for a visit.
Bobby Wagner playing for them for 5 years, $50 million. I don't know if the Cowboys are matching
that
deal.
They were willing to do, at first the reports were saying that there was a 1-year, $10 million offer out there.
Are you sure there's no chess game? There's no chess game at all with that can bite the Rams in the ass, say 2 years from now? Or
they've been playing
their window
that chess
might
game.
Be short. Yes.
They've been playing the chess game, but guess what? They won a Super Bowl, so checkmate. They won. You know what I mean?
But now they're adding on again, and you know how tough it is to get back to the dance.
Understood, but you know what teams typically don't do after they get there? What they're doing. They usually lose all their guys. The Rams are retaining all their guys, so they're going to stay competitive. They're doing things a little bit different, and of course, here's where the Rams are kind of screwing themselves. The salary cap, yeah, maybe down the line they're screwing themselves, but they've been doing that for 4 years, and you see what they're able to do still. I think the main thing would be when you see all these guys get older and the back ends of these contracts start showing rearing their ugly heads. They might be able to cut some guys, but they're not going to have any draft capital to replace anybody because
F them draft picks.
every
Apparently.
single player that they have, they give away a first and a
F
second.
the
and a
salary
third.
cap too.
To me, a story like this is even more proof that the Giants and Jets need to get good for like 6 years. So there's conversations about guys that nobody gives a shit about.
I agree.
true.
I want to hear about like guys,
Long way
local
away,
New
but
York,
look,
and the New York teams have been so bad for so long that it's not even a discussion locally. Like no one's talking about the Giants and Jets.
The
They don't
reason why
deserve
is
to be
you're
talking.
not going to have the flexibility with the roster. The Rams have a talented roster. The Jets and the Giants don't. You can't go and ask a star receiver on the Jets or the Giants to take less money to keep things right because the team already sucks. You have to have a competitive team, and you have to have a good quarterback. You have to have a chance at real success where stars are going to start to buy in. And plus, they play in LA in that new stadium. So
Right, but I feel like the Giants' salary cap. I feel like the Giants' money is at least $1. That's how much they're spending.
And you know what? And every single person, you'll hear this, right? Giants sign such and such, who is coming off a injury from. Like, there's always some kind of backlog injury that the Giants. And listen, I'm not going to knock it because they're actually more active than the Cowboys.
They got a new guy right now. Give the guy a shot. Obviously, this isn't.
I like the whole regime. I do. I'm
For
not
him to walk
knocking
into. They spent all their money last offseason, and none of the picks or none of the signings really panned out in year one. But you got to give it some time. New GM. The Giants might be okay, but
maybe
staying on
take
some time.
And Galladay's going to have a podcast on the Chop Sports.
Galladay's going to join our network because he's got nothing else going on. No touchdowns last year.
Well, look what this does for Seattle now. Kind of sends them back to the dark ages almost, right? Russell Wilson's gone. This is the last person from the Legion of Boom defense. You send away a guy who literally since he's been in the league leads with most combined tackles in the NFL. There's no other active player right
it's
now.
A rebuild.
Close,
and I feel bad for guys like DK Metcalf.
DK, exactly.
Like
now,
he's going to be wasted over there because Drew Lock's going to underthrow him by 10 yards.
Or they're going to be down. They're going to be down 20 at half, and DK is going to have 113 catches this year for 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns, and in a contract year where there's no team option to pick him up, and then he gets to walk into free agency. I think it's actually a tailor-made situation for DK. That's why he's like, yeah, I'll stay because we're going to be losing a lot of games. I'll get the ball a lot, and then he's going to get paid. He's going to be the most overpaid.
What did Chris Payne call him?
Westbrook,
the stat slut.
Stat slut.
That's what he's going to wind up being, a stat slut.
Two best wide receivers in the league are on different teams. That's going to terribly affect the Packers and the Chiefs.
Every team that thinks
7-7
a need at receiver. Every team that says they have a need at receiver, they're looking at the DK situation as the fix. If you're looking into paying a guy $24 million after this season who has a drops issue, then DK's your guy. Plus, you're going to have to give up a first-round pick. I just don't buy it.
So,
not Green Bay.
There's one more little tidbit.
Just lost your best receiver.
All right, we're not going to get into that because we've done that we beat that over the head. And we'll get more into the NFL as we're going to do some mock drafts coming forward. One more thing I got to talk about because now the story's coming out that Jerry Jones has paid millions of dollars to this illegitimate child that he's not claiming.
How great is that?
This is amazing. And the timing is perfect because 95, when they won the Super Bowl, he went out there and blasted his little Jerry's somewhere else. And all of a sudden, you got an illegitimate kid. And now she's coming for blood at this point. Millions of dollars paid for her tuition, a new car, all this stuff over time is finally coming to light. Jerry Jones, it's time to.
I'm curious what leg she has to stand on. If there was an agreement made and he held up his
maybe it was a contract. Maybe it was a 20-year deal. You know, I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
They don't work like
horrible.
Payoffs as like a CBA agreement. Like 20 years, you could come out and out me.
It's horrible.
If I'm going to give you millions of dollars, you better keep your mouth shut.
But is anybody really? First of all, as long as there's no rape or abuse, to me, this is like you're Jerry Jones. I hate the guy because he's a Cowboy guy, right? But he's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. He wrote the check for that entire stadium. Buffalo Bills didn't get near that. And he won 4 or 5 Super Bowls, the whole thing, blah, blah, blah.
So
and he's Jerry Jones. So he got some ass on the side and he knocked some girl up and he's paying her stuff. I think this is like, and he's the kind of guy that just may go right up.
I think the major
and just
issue,
say, hey, I got laid.
I think the major issue is thinking that people actually give a shit. And maybe they did then, or maybe he thought they
ESPN
did then.
sure as hell
But nowadays, I would just be like, yeah, but when you try and cover things up is when you look guilty. If he's like, whatever. Like Mick Jagger has like 31 kids between 15. None of the women are coming after him. If he's not a secret, he don't give a shit.
If he knocked up a girl like 2 years ago, that is a bigger story.
That is a bigger story because
Jerry Jones getting involved there.
But he does it.
They kick us up and it is not.
Yeah.
What if you found out Jerry Jones was your dad though, and wouldn't you want to be part of?
Wouldn't you want to be in the skybox?
You're
the part ownership.
To my understanding,
Chop Sports. It
wasn't like this new revelation that you just found out. It was like, how else did you get them millions growing up?
Yeah.
Oh, my dad, Jerry Jones. You knew that the whole time. I guess maybe now with the times are different and people are really just dragging people for things like
some
this.
reason I have a feeling she's got a new boyfriend who is a Giant fan or something. And he's like, hey,
go
listen,
get your daddy.
Get this guy
All
right now.
So anyway, one more thing in the headlines, at least. I read that, or Rob read this morning, told us about it. I think it was Rob who told me. The Major League Baseball has decided to mic up the umpires to make calls after reviews to the entire audience. So basically, if you're
going to hear what they're discussing.
Yeah. So that's interesting because
Lord knows
because we all know the greatest video in recent years
way they're gonna
is Bobby Valentine. Who's the guy who was like, you got to give us a shot. Who's
Terry Collins.
Terry Collins and that guy like, well, this is in the jackpot now, Terry. Like they're just yelling.
That's what I was gonna say.
Nobody
I don't want to
has
see the umps mic'd up for the review. I want to see the umps mic'd up. Period.
I want to see Enrico Palazzo go out there. Like it's going to be great. I think it's great for entertainment value. So basically, if there's a safe out call, foul, fair call, whatever, they're going to have to get in front of everybody and say like, after review, the ruling on the field is this. And
now, this is a thing that's going to be in place throughout the season, or is this a test?
No, it's right away.
How
I
bad
understand that it's right away, but I'm saying, is it going to be a thing that they're just trying out for?
I don't know.
For a week or
I didn't read it. I didn't read the article
training?
completely, but
how bad is that for the a veteran umpire? The young kids are so used to.
Yeah, they were going to get excited.
There's going to be
TikTok. I can't wait.
There's an umpire.
The veteran umpires. There's a few of them need to go.
It's going to be inappropriate.
I think what's his face retired because he was terrible.
Someone's going to say something stupid.
And then there's obviously Tiger Woods playing in Augusta. I don't know if anybody gives a shit about that, but maybe my brother does. He's a golf guy, but Tiger Woods trying to get back.
But he's not officially in the.
I think he announced that he's going to play. I don't know if he makes the cut, but we'll see what Tiger's got. I guess.
Again, this is another thing that me and Chris have hammered on my show. These little like, he'll never play again. He may not walk. He can't drive a car again. He can't. Next thing you know, it's like, but he'll be at the Masters at a 5-1. Like, I hate. Like I'm rooting against him now. I want to see an aging Tiger limping around.
There's other reasons to root against Tiger, or you could just.
If he wins the Masters, I would. If I was in charge of the PGA, I would sit everybody down, all the top guys, and be like, "Hey guys, this guy can't walk." And he just kicked your ass in 4 days.
Whoever's running the PGA or the Masters would love for Tiger Woods to win.
That's a ratings.
No. But privately, you have to bash.
They might actually be like, guys, we're going to sit you down before the tournament and be like, look, here's what we're going to do.
You can't
shank one on the 4th, right? Tiger's got to win at all costs.
No, but listen. If you lose to Tiger Woods in the Masters, you suck.
Tiger's actually playing in the Masters, or is he just like?
I think he's practicing. Apparently, he walked the course.
He walked the course.
He's playing, dude.
He's walking.
Yeah, bro. I think he's gonna try to make the cut.
And listen,
what's his odds on all the DraftKings and all that shit? That's got to be pretty good. I guarantee you, my brother puts $2 on it, right? And flips out when he doesn't win, and he lost those $2. I'm the same way. All of a sudden, I'm betting NASCAR now because of Kyle, like an asshole. Like, there's no reason for me to bet NASCAR, but here I am at my father's house on a Sunday, like, come on, Hamlin, you can do it, right? And then he burns out or something. I'm like, you piece of shit, just
I want him to
having NASCAR guys for no reason.
I want him to stumble on the course. Ooh, Tiger just fell on the side.
I thought this.
Oh wow, we're gonna cut away. Sponsored by.
Show. We're talking about driving and golfing.
I mean, look, you're going to piss a lot of rednecks off with that comment.
What do you mean? You were talking about draft picks that nobody gives a fuck about. Now we're talking about Tiger. We're talking about Tiger. Anybody know who Tiger Woods is? Anybody? You're talking about some DJ Metcalf guy. No one cares about him. I think he's Terry Metcalf. Another funny.
He's related to Terry Metcalf.
Is he really? That's great.
That's amazing. All right. So, hey, by the way, Jimmy Palumbo is here with us today, so that's a soft open. Jimmy, got a lot of things going on tonight. Tonight, I'll be in attendance as well. It's a sold-out crowd, right, Jimmy?
It's sold out, and I don't have a ticket for you, so you're part of you're part of the liaison.
I tell you what,
my production crew, Dave Sturch, is coming. And he's going to be setting up the camera, which will already be set up when he gets there.
I'm just going to hover against the wall.
He's got to do something key, though. He's got to hit the record button on the camera. These are big things.
These are the bigger things because, look, if this doesn't record and this doesn't hit, you're finished, Jimmy. It's over.
We're also looking for the lost tapes of my show in Carteret. Somehow
can't do that.
The little disc is gone.
My dad texted me. He goes, watched Margin last night.
Margin call.
He goes, was that Jimmy?
That was me. Yes, it was.
Look at that.
Most of you saw the back of my head, but they overpaid me, so it was fine.
Perfect.
I was with Demi Moore, the young, and Stanley Tucci.
Wow. All right. Is that one of your 144 credits?
Or 100, I think it's 116. Gotta get involved here.
Whatever you do, don't tell any G.I. Jane jokes.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what? Oh, man. See, you ruined that. I could have been that guy in the crowd. Like, you would have said something like, hey, Jimmy. Like,
I'm worried about people heckling tonight. You know,
you want heckle control?
No, I want
yes,
totally do that. Because I don't really acknowledge the audience. You know, I do, but not in a like if somebody comes up and tries. Oh, I'm going to do a funny thing with Jimmy, a G.I. Jane thing. I'm going to be like, dude. There's 200 people that get out of my face. I'm not good enough to like withstand the pressure and outside the pocket and fire a 17-yard strike over the middle to one of the great wide receivers in the league who is not on their team from last year. Good evening, everybody. Oh, no.
So a sold out show tonight. How are we doing on tomorrow? We're looking pretty packed
up to
still.
Like 95.
All right, so we're looking at probably 100 people with walk-up traffic.
Walk-ups, yeah.
So over the course of the next couple of days, there's going to be just a complete party in Avenel at the Performing Arts Center.
The APAC.
And you also just did a spot on 101.5 the other night.
Yes,
which,
I did.
None of us attended with you, which that's
by the way, he's like, we're the chop guys. And I wasn't ready for that. I was like, lack of interest divided by it's an hour away. I had to listen to you say, Jimmy, it's an hour away. I'm like, really? I'm coming from Matawan. It's like I'm driving to Atlanta to go to this thing.
Little kids.
They're sound asleep. You were doing no parenting.
What time did you get home?
What time did I stayed bullshit a little bit. So, you know.
What time did you get home?
But wait a minute. I'm sorry. The biggest radio station in New Jersey is New Jersey 101.5.
Is it?
And you're promoting Chop Sports. It's a big station. It's free advertising, free publicity. Let's buy some Facebook ads instead of going down and doing a radio show for your network. Inexcusable. Your excuse. You were working. That's fine. Your excuse was like, you know.
All right. Well, anyway, so you had a good time, though?
I did. And
I have a question, though, about this. Did they ask you about The Rock? Does everybody know
Not
about
Dwayne
this
Johnson.
radioactive rock?
Not Dwayne Johnson. We're talking about the radioactive rock.
We talked off the air about it.
So all of a sudden, this is a story now.
Yeah, Jersey 101.5 is the first place that I saw the story break. And then I saw that Jimmy was going to be there that night. I was assuming that because you're a Colonial High School alum, that they might have asked you about it.
Yeah, but the show wouldn't have matched that flow of brain cancer. Very different.
So somebody explain this shit to me. They found a rock now?
No, there was a rock found in 98. I was sitting in the class when they found
98.
Where
am I? 98. Woodbridge High School.
Look, they evacuated the classroom and they evacuated the school. We got like two days off school, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, this was about 50 years ago, so I have no clue.
I was batting 7.
But they did evacuate the school. We had a situation where there was a radioactive rock. They evacuated Miss Florman's earth science classes where it all went down. And then a couple days later, we're back at school. No big issue. Now,
are you sure?
Fast forward 20 years, and now they're saying that there's like 65 Colonial High School graduates from the years of, I guess, from all the way back when Jimmy was attending, all the way through.
All the pictures are black and white.
I guess they'll say the cutoff is I don't know when, but the statistics are there's 65 people, either teachers or students, that have suffered from brain cancer.
That's insane.
Sad. Also, tons of cancers. There's also weird. It's been weird. A lot of ALS stuff, and I know like 3 or 4 people from my year died of just weird kind of diseases, and teachers all died before they're 65.
That's rough.
Definitely something, and it's it's something. There.
And they found it in the wall. Well, you have a question down there, back there. What's up?
Yeah, they're doing.
So now they're looking for it.
Yeah, over Easter break.
The radioactive rock has been identified.
So then they're saying there's radioactive stuff within the walls of Colonial High School.
No, I'm saying like it sat there for years. So if it sat there they found it in 98. I guess after 98, maybe you're good. Right, so up until then you were good.
They're going all the way up to 2005 in terms of looking at data.
But the point being is that they found it in 98, but it was there since 67 when the school was built. So it was there for 21 years.
To give you an example of how long ago this was or how short ago this was, there's a comment that just came in here. Ashley was born in 98. Oh my God.
Just for context, which we'll do this off air, I guess. Jesus. She's my girlfriend, guys.
You know what? Yeah, it was
out of age. We promise. It's not illegal. But anyway, so yeah, crazy story about that.
I don't think anyone thinks
it's sad. I hope they find.
Nobody actually thought that. I was just making a joke.
I hope they find out. I know that during Easter break,
I hope they find the bastard.
They're going in and they're looking. They're going to do all those crazy tests on.
They're going to have all the little kids. They're going to do an Easter egg hunt in the Earth Science Wing. Is that what they're going to do?
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? Like, whoever finds the radioactive egg.
You know what? We're kidding around, but if your kid was at Colonial High right now, would Would you want it? Would you maybe say, hey, let's do virtual? I mean, it's
no, we're going back to that shit.
How's the teacher? The teacher that was in the classroom, pretty much, because that was a teacher who's probably been in that classroom for a long time, I assume.
I don't know.
What happened?
Tons of teachers have also
died. I saw her flying over Colonia. It's just like,
so
what?
Could be something there.
She was a hue of a green glow. Yeah, no.
And it happened because some guy's sister died of a brain tumor cancer kind of thing. And he was doing some research and he somehow got something too
now, and so does his sister. But so there's 3 people in a family, or if it's his wife, sister, and something very crazy. And he's like a guy that knows Mayor McCormick in Woodbridge, and he brought him to the situation, and they're investigating, and now the news stories are picking it up.
But supposedly he got in touch with some kind of research that said people that get this cancer or whatever, 0.000% of the population. But then, like, in terms of Colonia, it was like way higher. Like,
scary stuff.
I don't know the numbers, but it's the point where you got to look into it.
Scoop coming in. Can we get a lawsuit? Is the bigger question.
I was just going to say,
can we get
paid money, and when am I getting it?
Class action.
If I played JV basketball in that school in 1998, I would sue.
I would love to say that all 3 of us went to Colonia High School and we seemed fine.
I mean, I went to Woodbridge, so y'all are, you guys can glow all you want. I'm not.
But didn't you stop in once in a while to Colonia? You were there once.
I was our rivals.
You're there once. You're dead by 55. Who are we kidding?
That's true. All right. Anyway, before we let you get out of here and go get ready for your show, I got to ask you, because this is a sports show. Believe it or not, I don't know if anybody is joining us for the first time. They're like, oh, this is a science show. That's cool. No, it's not. It's a sports show. I got to get your take, man. The 2022 Yankees. You all right? You excited? You're not excited? I mean, you're overcritical.
I'm worried about
all you guys are very overcritical.
No, well, they have the best player in the league, Giancarlo Stanton, who hit a bomb into the roadway. Everybody's talking about these different players. I'm like, did anybody hit the highway? Like, there's a cop out there going, sorry, stop. Like, it's like a Route 95, a turnpike, and a cop. Sorry, Stanton's up. Hang on. Okay, popped up. We're good. No, I think the Yankees are going to be decent. To me, it's all about the shoulder and German and these guys. Can they pitch all year? I think the biggest problem with the Yankees is this Cole thing. Before the sticky stuff, he was great.
Velocity was
very alarming.
He pitched awful the end of last year.
What if he winds up not being an ace?
He pitched good in his debut.
Scariest.
He pitched good in his debut.
His velocity was up, but what he's
doing so far.
No, he did the second
start. He got rocked around.
I don't know. Look, getting rocked around is one thing. Is his velocity?
Okay, he's going to be bagging groceries next week.
No, it's not. Rotation on the ball and all that stuff.
From what I saw, the article that I read,
all I'm saying is it's going to be a very tragic thing if all of a sudden the Garrett Cole paid $300 million turns out to be just an okay pitcher.
That'll be the very first time that's happened in Yankee history.
No, I'm just saying
overpaid.
I get it, but
listen, their lineup can be really tough. I like some of I think having the shortstop there. Ralph Kiner's kid, and which is the best joke you'll hear on this network, and I'll be doing that all year long. But no, I think the Yankees are positioned pretty well. I think it's just a matter of if Stanton and Judge stay on the field. Those are
it's always a big tree fall hard theory over there. You know what I mean? Like every time Judge lays out for a ball, he's got a strained oblique for the next 4 weeks. I do think the
Mets are going to be set up. With an owner that's ready to spend money. I think
Uncle Steve is a fun dude, man.
It's going to be a fun summer. I think both baseball teams and
I'll just let you know that Vegas apparently I saw Toast our guy
that's
Toast
pretty telling about what I think the Yankees season will be this year.
What the over under on wins?
Over under 91.
Yeah, 91.5 is the over under.
Honestly,
I would like to smack 91.
I would like to see it at 94.5 because then I'd be like, oh, Vegas believes in us a little bit.
I'll never forget.
90 don't have the pitching right now to get any of my love.
In 96, they finished 92 and 70. I'll never forget.
I wouldn't bet it, but
92 is my.
If someone had a gun to my head, Yankees going to win 91 games. I'll say 90.
Well, if you're a Knicks fan, you're a little gun shy with over and under wins.
Well, Toronto. I was going to get your thoughts about that too. But Toronto's loaded. Boston's Boston.
Toronto seems to be some people's picks for the World Series.
Yeah,
so that's. It's a hell of a division out there. The only good thing is that they don't have to play them. Well, this year, I think going forward next year, they're taking away the whole. The Yankees got to play the fucking Red Sox 18 times. Like that's no more. Like they're doing more crossover games and less division games. So that's good for the Yankees who don't have to deal with a Toronto or a Baltimore.
See, I'd almost rather play those teams because then you have a chance to go head up and deal with the standings on your own. I'd rather play our division more. Because if you win games within your division, you have a better chance at winning your division. I don't know that the Torontos are going to go out and lose a bunch of games to anybody but us. Not that I say we're better,
but the best organization,
I just prefer to control our own destiny.
The best organization in baseball, I think, of all of sports is the Tampa Bay Devil Rays or the Rays because they have a $9 budget and they win 107 games every year. The Yankees spend $500 million and we're doing over and unders on 91. So forget about Toronto and the Red Sox. Tampa Bay. Every year, even when they come in with nobodies, you can't deny.
Yeah,
it's
unfortunate.
Yeah, no, I agree, but
it's a tough division.
And I'm sure you're very, very, very excited about the New York Knickerbockers this year, about how they fell short.
And I'm reading about Thibodeau.
All
the thing I hate about Thibodeau, I love him because he had the best 3 months in New York sports. It's all the Knicks were good for 3 months.
3 months, yes.
But he gets heavier as the telecast goes on. Thibodeau, when he joined the Knicks, he was like 185. He's like 390 pounds now. His sweater comes up over his belly. And everybody, what annoys me is everybody's like, you got to play Obi top and you got to play. And then he plays in a game and I'm like sitting on the couch with a scotch.
We're talking about the 12 seed in the East right now?
He stinks.
For a second.
Toppin stinks. But
Toppin doesn't stink.
He stinks.
He does.
You know what's great? You know what's great last night?
Sucks.
It was great to see Durant. It was great to see Durant miss another big shot.
Oh, baby.
It was also great.
That later, but
Kyrie Irving had 70 points in the first quarter. And then the last 11 minutes, all of a sudden, it's like, no, we're not going to. Well, Durant was rolling. You got Kyrie Irving. You got to give him the ball. Stupid Nets. They're never going to win it this year. They're going to suck.
They might not make the
playoff team right now.
Well, they're not even in the playoffs. But anyway.
They'll win their playoffs. Anyway, I digress. The Knicks suck. I'm annoyed at that.
Obviously, your show coming up tonight. We're excited to get there. We're thankful that you came in here to do your last stop on your publicity tour.
There's one big, because there's a big announcement.
Oh, okay. Breaking news here on
Breaking news here. Now, 20 weeks ago, when I weighed in for the championship bout, I was 218.4. Now, I thought I was going to lose a lot of weight really quick, but didn't happen. But I said, me and Chris on my show said, I have to be under 200 pounds on April 1st, April Fool's Day, opening night at the APAC. Jimmy Palumbo. And last week, Monday, only 4 days ago, I was at 201. But this morning,
did you pull trig?
At the official, I was trying everything. I was ready to cut my leg off. Okay, I would have been like a young tiger. But I was like, I weighed in this morning the same way I normally do,
and
199.6.
Way to go,
still champion of the world.
So take a sip of your coffee, and then you'll be 202.
No, after the weigh-in,
you can do what you want.
By the time the show starts, I'm gonna look like I'm gonna be like Bone Crusher Smith. I'm gonna be huge. But you know what? I lost about 0.88 pounds a week in the 20 weeks.
Good for you, man.
I'm still going to continue the diet. It's a bit on the show because Chris gets to mock me out how I'm not really dieting, but I am. I mean,
look, when you came in here and you slithered by one of the lights, I said 2 weeks ago you wouldn't be able to do that.
First of all, the fact you used the word slither with me, I thought I was going to walk in and destroy $2,000 worth of equipment in one clean shot. But yes, I did. I did lose. I got under 200. Barely.
Congratulations.
And I hope to be. I really want to be at 185 someday, but that'll be like 6 months from now.
Yeah, I remember 185. Right. I think it was junior year of high school. And that was 185.
But I appreciate you having me on for this. I look for anybody out there. Go check out Avenel tomorrow night. There's tickets available. And,
or you can just go tonight and scalp. And just kind of
secondary market.
Yeah, you can go on StubHub right now and type in Jimmy Palumbo and just watch the fees that they charge you just to try to get into the building. Are we drinking at Curtains?
Yeah, all night. So
all night. Okay.
But the best thing is after I leave, let me tell you how embarrassing I am. After I leave here.
Okay. You sure you want to do this on live? Okay.
I'm shooting myself in the face right now. My sister the other night, like 4 or 5 nights ago, it's like, what are you going to wear on stage? I'm like, I'm going to put something on. She's like, it's a big show. You're headlining. You get ready. I went shopping with my sister. I felt like I was 9 years old. She was going through. We went to Woodbridge Center, which, by the way, Woodbridge Center needs to talk it over. I mean,
a little changed over the years.
Woodbridge Center has become the Omni. I mean, it's like Menlo Park is like, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Borgata. And Menlo Park's like, here we are at the Civic Center, the Forum. I was waiting. It was like Woodbridge Center shot. Okay, partially because of the pandemic.
20 years.
No, but it's
someone literally got shot.
No, they shot. Like we went to different stores. So my sister bought me she bought them for me because she was trying to get points on her credit card, air miles. That's another story. But
that's another story. I'm sure
we didn't spend that much. I got a couple pairs of pants and a couple shirts, but then I got them home and I'm like, I don't know which one to wear. And I have an old veteran shirt, which I love. It's been in the league, the most expensive shirt known to man for me. I spent $400 on it a long time ago. Things were rolling back in the day. I'm the most
beer league was on.
Before beer league.
Wow.
This show has been in the league, and it's like Terry Metcalf. So I ended up, I laid everything out, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I called my sister. I go, Mare, I'm going to do the show at Chop Sports at 11 o'clock. And when I'm done, I'm going to drive to your house. My sister's going to help me pick out the outfit.
Oh, my God.
Why
don't you just go with Old Faithful and just wear like an LT jersey
I need some fashion advice. I want to know what looks good, what makes me look trim. I'm surprised you weren't yawning.
Give me a couple minutes. If you have something with long stripes, Jim, you're a fat fuck. You need something long stripes going upward,
vertical.
Downward,
that's why I always wear a home jersey, pinstripes down.
Then you'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
All right.
But listen, Chris, you coming to any of the shows?
I don't know. I'm working. So, what time is the show over? Is it?
It's 8 o'clock tonight.
Is it
8 o'clock tomorrow?
Is it still going to be going on at 1 a.m.?
Big weekend coming up, Jimmy.
You'll be able to watch the whole thing on video.
If Dave doesn't
lose the tape.
Oh, great. Pressure's on.
So
all right.
Anyway, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming. And dude, I'm pumped.
I'll be here Monday to do another show.
When we come back, we're going to put a little Absolute Eyewear is about to get involved here on the Chop Sports podcast or show or daily or whatever you want to call it. And when we come back, we got my boys, Mark and Dom from the All-Star Vintage podcast. I haven't seen these guys in a long time. We're going to have to catch up a little bit. Chris and Jimmy are going to duck out for a couple minutes. We'll be back right after this. You know, myself and Gooch are both getting a little older. One of the first things to go is your vision. Thank goodness for our hookup over at Absolute Eyewear in Woodbridge, New Jersey, right on Main Street next to the train station. They have glasses for all ages, all budgets. They have safety glasses, sports glasses. They are a full-service powerhouse offering eye exams and even free lenses for the kids. They work with BCBS, AAA, AARP, giving massive discounts. They're open 5 days a week, closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. Call 732-326-3937 to get your first pair of Ray-Ban, Burberry, Coach, Polo, you name it, they got it. Go see Craig and Johnine right now. All-Star Vintage. The fellas are here. What? Oh, God. Yeah, we're live. We're back. I'll talk. Don't leave because you got. Am I bringing the camera? All right, wait for it. We'll be done by 12-ish. Yeah, beautiful transition. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen, to the All-Star Vintage podcast. A little mesh job here. We got Dom and we got Mark Jameson. Not that Mark Jameson. There's another Mark Jameson. Yeah,
wasn't the other one's birthday?
Yesterday, was a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So,
and you always used to get in trouble for his shit
all the time.
Oh, so they would just like.
So like the school, because he was a year old.
Make sure you talk into the mic there, Dom. Not you. You're good.
Yeah. So like he was a year old. You guys were a year older.
Yeah.
So I would get called down. I'm like, why am I going to the office? What the fuck I did? I did shit yesterday. Like, cause I would get in trouble too. He would get in trouble for my shit, and I would get in trouble for his shit.
Wow.
So I'd be sitting down in the office, like, what did I do? And then like, they'd be like, oh, and then it's the other Mark Jameson. And then there'd be times we'd both be sitting down there, and we're like, so did you do this or did I do this?
So you have to like discuss, negotiate. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, obviously these guys are the hosts of the All-Star Vintage podcast right here on our network. They just came on board for season 3. They've been doing it for a little while. We go way back. I haven't seen these guys since high school. I graduated in 2003 out of Woodbridge, and looks like a tag team just came in. According to Scoop's like, legit. That's hilarious. We go back to Woodbridge. Finally, some Woodbridge High School representation. Right. Enough of this Colonia stuff. Everybody keeps talking Colonia. It's all about Woodbridge. Yeah,
let's go, baby.
So anyway, I gotta know. So where did the thought? Not the podcast yet, because I know the podcast came later. You guys got a store. You started selling vintage stuff, right?
Yeah.
So how'd that all come about?
Yeah, man. Like years. Well. Few years ago now, like 2,
almost 3. I thought it was longer than that. Yeah, 3. I remember seeing a lot of your shit a long time ago.
Yeah, dude. And it's funny. I was like chilling on the couch one day, probably stoned out of my mind, and watching Slobby Robbie from Netflix. And if you ever seen that show, pretty fucking cool. I mean, this guy's out in, where's he at? In Cali, Arizona, something like that. Arizona or something like that. And he was selling all 80s, 90s stuff. He had a cool Netflix show, and I was thinking, I'm like, damn, I want to do that. That looks like a lot of fucking fun, man.
Yeah.
And especially because like growing up, we, jerseys and like
just like not sports memorabilia, like just like the old aesthetic of like the old like logos and all the old
like
jerseys.
logo athletic and like all that, the starter, the old
starter,
starter,
champions, all that. Like we love all that. So like we're like, why don't we just fucking throw a couple bucks in and see what happens?
Right.
And like, to be completely honest, since we started doing it, we haven't had to put a cent of our own money in the last.
No shit.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
business 101, baby.
Yeah.
If you don't have to go into your own pocket to start a business because of the immediate influx and everything that you guys are doing, that's money right there. That's absolute money.
You got to put a lot out, especially.
Yeah,
in the
no, of
beginning,
course.
you put a lot out, but when you can get those returns where you don't have to, it's nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I got to know then. Obviously, you guys have been friends for a long time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
second grade.
Second grade,
for real, man.
You were best man at the wedding. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So I got to ask you, like, when did you guys make the determination, like, we should probably talk some shit and start a podcast? When was that? Because you're now in season 3. We picked you up late.
Yeah,
obviously. And I've been following you guys for a little while. I'm like, it's good that these guys are talking. Podcasting is the new way of the world to get your brand out there. It's a perfect idea. But when did you guys decide to do that?
Probably about what, like a year now?
Yeah, about a year ago. So we're doing.
How the fuck are you on season 3 then? And you're only been a year along.
So like the first season was really like a test season to see if we were going to stick with it. We did like a few episodes. Then we took a break and kind of regrouped. We liked what we were doing, liked the direction we were going in. So we're like, fuck it, man. Let's like really make something out of this. Yeah. So we did with the season 2. That went really well. And then I think we started gaining some traction. You guys noticed us a little bit more and brought us to season 3. But naturally, man, like Mark said, we've been friends since second grade, dude. So it's just like a natural progression for us to grab a couple of mics and bullshit about the stuff we like, man.
And it's vintage stuff. You're a sports, pop culture, all this stuff. And obviously, you just dropped a new episode yesterday. So that came out. A great, by the way, great episode. Tribute to the bad guy, by the way. That was a very good episode. And of course, that was, I inspired to put Razor Ramon's theme song at the end of my podcast as well. One of our Fight Factories. But yeah, it's cool that we also share a common bond. I mean, me and you are Cowboys fans. You're a Jets guy, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Born and raised, man.
All right. So how unfortunate is that right now? Do you feel optimistic though about this year coming up?
Dude, yes. Yeah. You could ask Mark. I'm an optimistic Jet fan and a realistic Jet fan.
That doesn't exist, by the way.
It does for me. All right. I'll tell you why. Listen, I've been through it all for 35 years. Came out of the womb bleeding green, man. And so, I mean, we had the few good years. We had the good year in '98 with Vinny and Parcells, right? When the Broncos ripped my heart out. I think I actually cried. Honestly,
I've been there, brother. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I've been there.
I honestly cried during that. And then we had the Rex years, which were fun. But I mean, besides that, dude, it's been miserable. But I really got to say, after the McCagan fiasco, the Idzik fiasco, I really like where Joe Douglas is taking this team.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, there's a lot of optimism in New York with him and the way he's building from within, meaning when I say within, start up in the trenches, get that offensive line straight. Your thoughts, Zach Wilson, you're a believer? I mean, he started to come on a little bit at the end of last year, so starting to get his bearings. You think he could be something special or what?
And I don't want to say special, man, because I said Sam Darnold could have been special. I mean, I learned my lesson about that. All right, bro. So I'll tell you this.
I want to be serviceable at this point.
He showed progression, as you said, later in the season. I like that. That makes me happy. Limited the turnovers. So all the things you want to see from a rookie quarterback through the natural progression of the season. I think we saw that, especially when he came back from those injuries.
I think it
was
helped.
a new quarterback.
I really do
man.
think it helped because when you look at his,
his numbers, did you at all think that there was going to be like a Mike White era? Like, did you think that was going to be a thing? All of a sudden, the hype train was like taking off the rail. I mean, dude, Rob, you would know. Like,
I'm a big Jeff fan too. So I mean, here's my take on Zach Wilson is like he said as well, like we all thought Sam Darnold was going to be the guy. And it seemed like every year, like the last 4 games, you go in the next season, be like, oh, well, Sam Darnold led in completion percentage the last 4 games in the NFL. So it's like 35 years of just 3 AFC championship games. And the closest one to me was the Colts one because we were up like 17-0 at halftime.
You know what's funny? Yeah, you're right. You know what's funny though? Being that you're a Cowboy guy like me, it's like these guys have this optimism, right, about the Jets. Meanwhile, in Dallas, we have this when are they going to break our hearts again?
Negativity,
dude. It's just constant berate, and we've won Super Bowls in our lifetime. These guys haven't, and they're all like jet fly, spread your wings, whatever the fuck the Jets do.
It's not about for as me as a Jet fan, it's like of course you want to win a Super Bowl, right? But by week 7, we're like, all right, well, we're 2-5,
Right.
A Super Bowl. I just want to win 9 games.
That's what it is.
It wants to go over 500, and that's like the victory. You hang the banner in MetLife.
Our hearts aren't getting ripped out of our chests like Cowboys fans because like you just have one Super Bowl. You
we
expect
get so
it.
close.
Yes.
We
Just
get
like
close
we're done
enough
already.
we get close enough every time. We get to the playoffs. Oh yeah, it's nice. We made the playoffs. It's a great year. Oh,
It's
and then what happens in the playoffs?
Every single time. We
Every
never
time.
we haven't seen a conference. See, at least the Jets got to the conference championship game
That's
a couple
what I'm
years.
saying.
We
Yeah,
haven't been there
back
since
to back.
'95. And our claim to fame now is that Jerry's got illegitimate kids.
Yeah.
Like, what else can go
And
wrong
Steve-
as a Cowboy fan?
And Stephen Jones is
Incompetent.
He's a cap wizard in my eyes.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Stephen
love
Jones.
that.
Wait, so you're in favor of what's going on here?
Oh, I'm not. I didn't say I was in favor.
Oh,
I just think that when it
Christ.
comes down to like when the numbers get up there and they get up, he always finds a way to get us under the cap. Somehow.
okay, great. Are they going to put a banner for that up top?
No.
Cap champions 2022.
No.
Congratulations,
But-
Cowboys.
But he also is a big voice in that draft room, and we've drafted well.
The drafts have been good. I think he took over right around the time that Jerry Jones wanted to take Johnny Manziel. We
That's
took
what-
Zach Martin instead.
exactly.
I was laid up with an ACL injury for that one. I had a couple buddies over, and I said, if Johnny Manziel is drafted right here at that spot, I was very close to saying, I'm done. Just absolutely done with this team. And you knew that Steven started to have a little bit of an influence, and then all of a sudden they draft Zach Martin. The rest is history. Last year's draft, banger. The year before that, CeeDee
Banger.
Lamb, Diggs. Right, so they're
If you look
doing
at
well.
the guys, we're getting guys in the 4th, 5th, 6th round
Dak
that are
Prescott,
starting.
4th round pick.
They're starting. Yeah.
Yeah. No, listen, the draft is always well, but they never, they don't have the
exactly.
guy to get them over the top. And I've been beating it over the head that Dak could be the guy, and Zeke's gonna have a turnaround season. And everybody's like, well, Pollard's the better running back. Like, he's not the better running back.
No.
Let's all pause on that one. Like, it's just they're different.
Yeah,
they're
he's
different.
more explosive.
He's
and that's
explosive,
it.
and Zeke has the ground and pound. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
I can go on and on
Oh,
about the
yeah.
Cowboys, and you could probably listen to the Jersey Boys podcast for that one, which did not have a new episode this week because I was too goddamn busy. But anyway, so you guys obviously are in, knee deep in football.
Yeah.
You're also rocking one of the coolest jackets I've ever seen. It's one of the classics. Are you guys ready for WrestleMania?
Dude,
It's a big
you
weekend,
know.
baby.
Yes,
I started
you know.
my WrestleMania weekend last night by calling some lucha libre of
That's
AAA.
awesome.
Nice.
Dude, I was so pumped.
no shit.
I am one with the Mexican community at
That's
this point.
awesome.
I had a great time. The main event was
Where
great.
was it at?
It was in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sitting here.
Okay,
No,
cool.
actually, I took the red eye. No, I'm sitting here and I'm calling a show for Fight TV. I got booked for it, and they're paying me good money. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So
Hell yeah.
and it was a great time, great experience. But that started my WrestleMania weekend off. Obviously, the go home show on Raw, we all watched it. Nothing, no Cody, no nothing. All that stuff. Cody, listen, it's confirmed. He's signed, he's sealed and delivered. It's just a matter of when. What is the one match you're looking forward to the most? I'll start with Dom.
Yeah, man. I think it's just Roman and Brock.
I'm a Brock guy. I'm a big Brock guy.
I think we all love Brock. And it's funny when Roman was getting shoved down our face as a baby face. No one liked Roman. We couldn't take it. But now he's
Miserable.
this mean fucking heel.
I kinda like him.
badass, and it's great.
That's
It
why
works.
I like him.
I kind of like, and I listened to his theme song today in the gym. I was like, yeah. I'm walking around there like the old people. I'm like, acknowledge me. And they're like, why are you yelling at me, sir?
needle.
Right. Yeah, look at my needle. It's moving.
And it's fun to see Brock now as kind of the baby face, a little role
He's
reversal,
having a
and
great
he's having a
time.
lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. He's
like
on
the cowboy
McAfee
hat?
breaking tables and shit. Like, he's doing all that stuff. So obviously that's the main event that goes down Sunday night.
Yeah.
To me,
McAfee
that's-
in a match.
yeah,
And a
That's great.
unification of the titles potentially.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
Like, do you think they're going to have a whole schedule for these champions? Like, they're going to be on both shows? That's a
I
lot.
don't know if they're going to continue the brand split. I hope they don't. I hate
That would be
Ellis,
great.
please,
That would be
the
great if they
worst.
stop that.
I hate
If they
that.
stop
It's
the brand
worst.
split, I'll be a bigger fan than ever.
Yeah.
Just
to me-
continue the stories throughout the course of the week, like the good old days.
Yeah.
Like we said, you're missing out on some marquee matchups that you could have on a weekly basis.
Easily.
I mean, of course, and we're always going to compare WWE and AEW, right? Because those are the two big ones. You turn on Dynamite, it's like a pay-per-view every week. man,
Every
with
week.
some of the
That's why I said I
matchups.
want to get an
But-
AEW
but-
shirt.
but they're
says
also-
AEW gives me everything I need.
Yeah, basically. You can find that at chopsports.shop soon enough. But honestly, dude, like AEW has, but the problem is, and it's the same thing I saw in the Lucha show last night, AEW stacks their cards. So it's like there's either an 8-man or a 6-man or a 10-man. Like, they're throwing guys at you, but everybody's got a spot. you brought it to my attention, or one of you guys brought it to my attention in pre. There's no Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania.
None.
What is happening here?
Yeah, man.
That used to be the most coveted title in the world.
Yeah, they devalued that title. Like,
and it looks like shit.
Yeah, like think about the great days of like Razor holding that title. Like we were saying in like the last, he made that feel like a world title. Like, like it was super important. Now they don't even got a match at Mania.
Yeah, if you were the inner champ, you were the next guy up like to compete for the world title. Back in the day,
that was the workers title, the guy that would give it all. Like there's no reason in my mind that they can't give a guy like Ziggler the Intercontinental title and he'll just take off to the moon.
Give it to the Miz, like I say all the time.
He's a big
Miz
guy.
I think IC champ, I think Miz, bro. I really do, and I don't understand why they haven't done that yet. Give him back the white belt. Let him come out there. Let him talk about how great that title is. How much it needs to be his. And take that other black one, throw in a garbage can, do whatever they're gonna do with it. That garbage, that title is garbage.
The brand split hurts that type of like storyline because all right, you don't got an IC title match for Mania. Why? You couldn't find anyone,
right? But no, guys. They had to put Johnny Knoxville on the show.
Yes.
Welcome to Jackass. It's like, what are you doing?
What year is this?
Yeah.
Right.
They care about more non-WWE talent for this stuff than they do their own roster.
It's sickening. It really is. But look, it's WrestleMania. Everybody's gonna watch, and I'm sure there's gonna be everybody to complain. But you'll get the Fight Factory the next day with our reactions, obviously. But yeah, so. You guys have been rocking and rolling with the podcast. Yeah. Big wrestling guys, big nostalgic guys. Your quick thoughts, fake or not, Will Smith.
Oh, I think that was real.
So do I. I'm on the real side still.
There's a video.
Like, I'm also a huge conspiracy theorist. So like at first I'm like, that's a setup. Because everything's a setup.
Right.
This country, everything's a setup.
Right. Cool. Definitely.
Yeah. So, but now, but when he was yelling afterwards, and I was like, oh man, I think he's kind of serious.
I think he's kind of pissed.
He's actually kind of pissed off.
Yeah.
Especially because we in America, they just like, they blanked it out.
I didn't see that part. I only saw the uncut shit. So I don't know what America did, but I'm assuming they just, after the slap, they went black or something?
No, they just cut the audio. So you didn't hear him yelling at him.
Oh, wow.
But that was the Chinese feed they got.
Right.
Like,
perfect.
Putin said that one, slid that one over the wall. So
here's why I think it's a work. I don't know if you guys saw the video. There was like an 8K zoomed in version.
He's not wearing a pad, if that's what you're saying. Because
he's got like a fucking little.
No way. I saw that theory too. There's no way.
That was also one thing that, like, at first I'm like, this is a work, because when we'll wax him, he turns around and he has like that. He's got a grin. He's like, like that little shit-eating grin. Like,
I think it was more like nerves. The grin that Chris Rock had. Like, oh fuck, what just happened? You know what I mean?
Will Smith had a grin after he hit him.
Right. It's just the whole thing is just weird.
Feel good thing. Like,
I don't know, but I mean, if all that shit's real, Chris took that shot like a man. And he kept that show going.
Yeah.
Respect.
Absolutely.
And he didn't even talk about it like all his shows sold out like after that.
I know, and that's what makes everybody believe that, like, okay, like the what was it, Oscars? Yeah, Oscars went up big in ratings, and all of a sudden Chris Rock sold out all of his shows. So all of a sudden, like, were they not selling before that? Where people were like, it's Chris Rock, who gives a shit? But all of a sudden he eats a slap, and they're like, oh, we gotta go see this guy now. Have to
go see him.
Right? What? I got a call. Oh no, you're fuck. No, you know what? Like, I can't do it today because I have it switched on the wrong. I'm sorry, Payne. I see you there. He's giving me the finger in the post. Sorry, buddy. I have it switched over to the wrong. That's why we couldn't hear the intro before. I left it on AAA last night, so I have it in the Rodecaster. But guys, listen. Thank you for coming in.
Hey,
obviously,
for having us, man.
Keep plugging away on this podcast. I'm a big fan of your show because obviously it's everything I can relate to. You know, you talk a lot of shit. And it's mostly respectful, I guess. I mean, I would put the parental advisory all over that thing, but I would do that for this show too. So it's very. When I brought you guys on, I was like, it's the bad boys of this show. Like and then Gooch was like, one time we were listening, and he goes, "It's us." I was like, "It is us." They're very similar to us. So check out their show, All Star Vintage. It drops every single week on the podcast network. And I'm going to get to a a couple reads. You guys find your way. There's snacks in the room. There's water. There's coffee. There's whatever you want. If you want to stick around to the end of the show, you're more than welcome to do that too.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys. And I just want to let everybody know that this show, you can drop it right on the mic on the box right there. Turn it off. This show is being brought to you by Michael Fusco, and the Fusco Insurance Agency is officially partnered up with Chop Sports. Very pumped about it. The Fusco Insurance Agency offers personal commercial lines, life, health insurance. They even help with retirement, employee benefit administration. If you need a benefits guy, boom, there's your guy. It is tax season, right? Taxes are due. I think we're going to hear from our tax guy today, as a matter of fact, to find out how much money we owe them. But I'm just kidding. We don't owe any money. We're doing good with that. But he also does that through his Prestige Tax Group. And if you have bad credit, get involved with the Fiscally Fit Credit Repair. He does that too. He's a full-service powerhouse of an organization, of an agency. He is Ari Gold. He's officially our Ari Gold of this. And if you're looking for a blend of personal oh, you're just coming in right now? All right, cool. If you're just looking for a blend of personal service and expertise, you've come to the right place. Very experienced, very good dudes over there. And, of course, Michael Fusco is a really good guy. He's also in the comments, so be sure to say hello to him there. You can visit him at FuscoInsuranceAgency.com. So do you want to do it then?
No, I don't have it.
All right, then I thought I gave it to you. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It is time for the return of Manscaped. That's right. You're seeing it. We Save Balls, a brand new initiative, and they're partnering up with Chop Sports. Fellas, have you done your spring cleaning yet? The carpets need cleaning, the drapes need dusting, and your lawn needs mowing. Spring is sprung, and the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming have officially had the best tools to clean up aisle 5 in your pants. Time to clear out your winter bush and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com. 20% off if you use the code CHOPSPORTS. Free shipping. Of course, this performance package comes with the stuff that you already know about. It is the Lawnmower 4.0. which is obviously comes with our ever so famous LED light. We all know and love that. It's got the Weed Whacker and nose trimmer, ear and nose trimmer. Includes now the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver, so you know all about that stuff. But guys, introducing the Plow 2.0. It's a razor for your face, ladies and gentlemen. We're going razor for the face. If you're using a Lawnmower 4.0 on your balls and your face, you're doing it wrong. Also, on a more important note, what you're seeing right in front of your face, the start of spring marks the start of Testicular Cancer Awareness Month in April. Manscaped is partnered up with the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men ages 15 to 35, and they're giving support for fighters, survivors, families that are impacted by testicular cancer, as well as their We Save Balls initiative. Smell oh so fresh this clean in spring. Be sure 20% off. You can take this down now, Dean. 20% off. Chop Sports is your code. Chop Sports. Manscaped is back with the boys. And, of course, Gooch will butter this up and make it his own come Monday. I'm sure he'll just do wonderful things. I read it verbatim from what they sent us. So, anyway, that's that. Those are the reads. But obviously, there's been a lot of stuff that happened within the last 24 hours, obviously, and that is tonight we finally start the Final Four. Is it tonight? I thought it was tomorrow. I thought it was tonight.
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Both games tomorrow?
But we have to cover it today because we don't have a show.
Yeah, I know. I just thought there was a 9 o'clock game tonight. But anyway,
no, it's like 6 and
the 9. Final Four has presented itself. We were going to bring on Scoop and or Toast, but we're just going to talk about it real quick because, again, late on the time to cover this. But it's Duke and North Carolina is the one game to watch because of the historic rivalry. Obviously, Coach K, and it's obviously Hubert Davis is the coach of the Tar Heels now. It's no longer Roy Williams. Duke is favored -4. Now, I'm going to make my pick just with no spread. This is who I think is going to win. I think Duke is going to win the game. I don't know if they're going to cover. Now, who am I rooting for? I'm rooting for Coach K's demise in this game. I am. I'm with you guys, the Tar Heels. I'm with it. But I just don't see it happening. Duke, Gooch, how do you see this one playing out, bro? Mouthful.
North Carolina is a tough team. They don't really get blown out by anybody. They had a real bad second half against Michigan State, and Michigan State hasn't been playing up to their caliber the last couple of years either, specifically in the tournament. But North Carolina, they're clearly built for a tournament, and Duke, they got the better of them in Coach K's last home game. I would love nothing more as a North Carolina fan to see Duke lose to North Carolina in the Final Four and even up the series at 50-50, because right now it sits at 50-49.
Really?
In favor of Duke in Coach K's career. Oh. So if Duke wins, then North Carolina fans have to live that down for eternity. If North Carolina wins, obviously there's the national championship or the right to play for the national championship on the line. But in this particular game, it's the biggest. you could make the case that this right here is the biggest game in college basketball history.
You think so?
I mean, Duke, North Carolina to go to the fucking finals.
Absolutely, I agree.
You could make the case. Now, I'm not sitting here with a list of college basketball games that were of equal importance, but I mean, they haven't met in the tournament. This is the most storied rivalry in college sports, if not football. I mean, if not college basketball, definitely college sports. Or I said that wrong, but
that's fine.
You get the point that I'm trying to make here.
Coach K's last year.
K's last year. All the factors that go into it. It's a shame that we don't have any it's not the way it used to be because everybody that's on both rosters is like one and done nowadays. You don't have any
that way. At least the good players.
Yeah, you might have like a white kid on Duke that gets minutes here and there, like as like a rotation guy, but all their starters are freshmen. Am I wrong about that? Right?
All their starters are freshmen?
I'm speaking out of pocket, and I don't know enough about college basketball.
Scoop knows a lot about
nonetheless, North Carolina is going to win this one outright. So I'm not going to bet it, but if I was, I would definitely throw some money on the money line.
On the +4 and the money line. All right. Well,
just to talk about how big of a game this is. Eric Church is. He's he's a
singer,
Grammy winning, a recorder. He had a sold out concert in Dallas at the AT&T Center, I think, and canceled it to take his family to the show. Sold out. Went on Twitter, canceled when he found out they were playing, and is going.
Are you kidding me?
Not joking.
That's first of all, that's wrong. Very shitty of him to do this to all those fans, by the way. But then wait a minute, time out.
You can't question another man's fanhood.
No. He's a Duke guy?
He's a North Carolina
guy.
Yes.
Fine. He had a sold-out show on Saturday?
On the same day, and the show is...
You just said AT&T Stadium. That's impossible.
No, it's not. It's where the, what's it called, play? The Civics, whatever, the AT&T...
The Mavericks.
Mavericks play.
Oh, so it's only 20,000 as opposed to 80.
Either way, it's a sold-out show, 20,000 people that bought tickets to go see him play, and now he's buying tickets to go see North Carolina play. So
I mean, look, man, when you got the money, you get to do whatever you want. But anyway, so you're taking North Carolina with the money line here. All right, Kansas Villanova, as that one is, it's also very close on the spread, is same as the other one. Kansas -4 favored over Villanova. I don't know. Are you sure about that? That's accurate?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I'm actually picking Villanova outright, so I would take that money line in a heartbeat. I think Villanova and Duke have the story to end this whole thing. That's why I'm taking Villanova.
I mean, obviously they're looking at Kansas as the better team, but Nova in the tournament the last couple of years has been the tournament team. They are the team, right? I feel like Villanova has had so much success over the last 5-7 years in the tournament that I'm not going to pick against this coach in this spot. Getting the 4.5 it seems like a gift. Watch Kansas win by 30.
Right. So obviously, if you want more in detail about the NCAA Final Four, you have to go over to the Cross Court Cast, as that Scoop and Cousin Vinny, they go real knee deep in this. We know where Vinny's going. He's a big Duke guy, and we know that Scoop is he's probably actually, I found out last night. Ready for this? I did this once or twice. Only once or twice. See, Vinny is going to put money on North Carolina to weather the storm. If he loses, he'll win money. And if he wins, Duke wins. So it's all about, my dad once said, how much is it worth to you? Like a win, right? It was like the Dallas Cowboys going in to play the Giants in a meaningful game. Would I throw $50 on the Giants if I knew I was going to make a couple hundred, based off a fluke thing, right? I can't do that. I can't foresee myself ever doing that again. It just shows you have a problem. I think it's a little bit of a problem. If you do something like that, I think it's too much.
You just got to learn to deal with the L, compartmentalize it, and that's like a 30-50. What are you going to win? $50, $100?
I'm just saying he came out with that yesterday.
That
was probably off the record too, by the way.
Right. You cannot bet against your own team.
The last 3 times Nova and Kansas played in the tournament, the winner of that game went on to win a championship.
Well, that's an interesting tidbit coming from Wrestling Rob. That is interesting because look, we'll see. When's the championship game? Monday?
Yeah, probably Monday.
Monday night?
Yeah.
They have the standalone game?
It's going to be like Thursday.
No, it has to be like, yeah. I'll have to look that up.
It ain't going to be Monday. They ain't playing Saturday then Monday. No way.
Okay. I believe they will, but that's just me. But anyway.
Tuesday the earliest. I'm saying Thursday or Wednesday.
I say Monday's a primo night for that game. But anyway, so last night, if you guys were watching the NBA, and before we get to Kyle's picks, he'll be coming in through the comments unless he's dipped out of here already. We don't know yet, but we'll find out. Kyle by the way, Kyle, You smacked that parlay right in the face last night. And that was a beautiful, beautiful play. It was the most random thing you've ever put together. It was like an over-under. It was like a money line Bucks, and it was like another weird thing. 3 in a row, plus 693. I put $1,000 on it, guys. $1,000. And I won 60,000. No, I'm kidding. I put like $3 on it, and I won like $40. Well, this ought to get me through the next day. No, I would never put that on a parlay. But anyway, so the NBA plays out last night. What we saw is Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets fall short to the Bucks. All of a sudden, the bottom of the East is getting tight. 3 of them with the same record. If you look at the top of the East now, with the Bucks winning that game, they're now a half game back of the 1 seed, and that is the Miami Heat. This is getting down. There's like 5 games left, guys. So this season's going to be over by next weekend.
Yeah, the Sixers dropped the one last night to Detroit. Of all teams, you can't be losing to the bottom feeders when you're going for positioning, because as of now, the Sixers played themselves into a tough position because out of all, look, I understand people kind of want to avoid the 1 seed, but the way the Nets have been playing down the stretch, I don't know that any playoff team that's riding the 1 seed or fighting for it should be worried about a team that's around the 9 or the 10. The Nets are in disarray. They don't have a really deep rotation. Ben Simmons, we don't think is going to come back at all this year, right? I think it's safe to say
that
it's a week away from the postseason. What are they going to do? Get him right?
You can't ramp him up like that. He's just going to hurt himself. They might be able to. I
mean, he's a talented guy, and if they just ask him to play perimeter defense, we know he's not going to shoot much, so he'll probably clog the offense a little bit. Yeah, I'm not really sold on what the Nets are doing right now. They played themselves out of contention. They're like the 10 seed right now. So they're clearly in a playing game situation.
I think they're the 8 right now, or the 9 right now. And but dude,
they were the 9. They were the 9 yesterday. So
there's 3 teams that lost same record.
And they also lost. So they're the So they have a very good chance that they could fall even out of the play-in. I'm not sure who's ranked 11th right now.
Fantastic. See, as a Knicks fan, I do relish in this opportunity to watch the Nets crumble. I have a lot of Nets friends. I'm not sitting there rooting for your unhappiness, but if the Nets were to happen to miss the playoffs with this stacked team and winning that trade, it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah. I think that the Miami Heat kind of hang on because they weathered the storm. They beat a couple of the teams that they're jockeying for position with this week. They kind of stumbled into the final stretch, but have gotten hot at the right time. Same thing with the Bulls. DeMar DeRozan yesterday drops 50. They've been struggling of late, but the last 2, they won some big games. And
Eastern is going to be fun.
Bro, you ready for a stat? There was 9 50-point games in the NBA throughout the month of March. 9.
Wow.
Right? So there's no more defense.
Any multiple 50-point games?
LeBron had 50 twice, and Kyrie had 50 and 60.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, There's some.
I guess they're still good at basketball.
I guess they don't really play defense down the stretch like I was talking about last week. There's just no defense whatsoever. No, but
only in the
playoff time it'll ramp up a little bit. Giannis yesterday with that huge shot to send it to overtime.
That sequence in overtime, like the big shot, obviously, to get him to overtime. But the sequence at the end, I was so mad. Obviously, I had the money line Bucks, so I'm rooting for the Bucks to win the game. And the way it all played out, Kevin Durant gets fouled. What a bullshit foul, by the way. I think their knees met like after the shot. And of course, yeah, it's a foul.
No, that's a legit foul.
Yeah, it's a foul. Yeah, I get it. But there was no like, I guess there's never really intent.
Here's the thing. Like, that's an NBA rule where you have to allow him to fall. So there's it's
like a kicker in the NFL. You got to punter, plant foot, got to get down.
You got to jump straight up, jump straight down on defense. If you're jumping forward and you land in his landing halo, whatever you want to call it, that's a foul.
Right.
No doubt.
So anyway, Durant gets the 3 shots, makes them all, and I'm sitting here, I'm bugging out. I'm like, all right, are they going to hold for last shot? Or are they just going to drive that? Giannis Antetokounmpo, right, takes that thing down all the way across the court, goes up, draws a foul, hits for 2 free throws. And I thought for sure, I was like, there's no way he's hitting both. There's no way. Sinks them both. They call timeout. Durant, decent look, by the way, if anybody saw it. Decent look to win the game and clanks it. So the Bucks win that game. Great game, though. Great game.
I still think the Bucks are going to be the team to beat once playoffs start.
I think so too. We'll make our predictions.
Celtics kind of shit the bed to let down the stretch again. Like, they were playing so good and defensively more than anything, but they haven't been able to put it together the last couple games.
Yeah.
And I know that that's only 2 games, but when you're stumbling into the postseason, I guess you get a chance to hit the reset button, and they have the talent to be able to do that, but they're not playing well right now.
Do you remember that last year? Do you remember that? AJ's coming in Bucks in 6.
Oh, I do.
Remember that? That was when AJ was. That's an infant AJ.
I'll be riding the Bucks once the postseason starts. I'll be riding my boy Giannis and my Packers fans.
You know, it's funny. Kyle brought this up in the comments saying Durant should not allowed to kick his leg out either. It looked like there was a little bit of a kick out action, but not a lot. It was borderline.
You're allowed to. I understand what you're saying, but he didn't necessarily kick his leg out for the reason why they got called the foul. But he did start his jump shot behind the 3-point line and end up before the 3-point line. So he moved forward as well as the other guy, but that's just the rule.
That's baseball.
They would have to modify the rule, I would imagine.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, Kyle, I know you're here. And I know people are on waiting on bated breath for your picks. He says he's got 2 picks for tonight. Make sure you're writing these down, ladies and gentlemen. There is no UFC. I would have went to Dina for some UFC stuff, but UFC gets a week off, so she gets a week off to relax and enjoy herself and draft a fantasy baseball team and watch WrestleMania and all that other shit. But anyway, so you can join the fun. But Kyle's coming in with 2 picks for this evening's Friday night slate. But just so you know, going forward, before those picks come in, and I'm sure they'll come in the comments, the Weekend Outlook Jimmy show tonight, tomorrow. Be sure to check that out. The Final Four tomorrow. WrestleMania weekend. It's loaded. Opening day is next week for baseball. We'll be giving our season-long predictions on Monday. I want to do that. I want to try. We'll pick some World Series winners. I saw, like I said, I saw a lot of people picking on the Blue Jays. It's crazy how open this league is now this year. As we just, this is one of those times where I just kill time as much as I possibly can to get the first one. Super sharp, little risky. Ladies and gentlemen, Dallas is a much better team than at home than on the road. Washington, sneaky good at home. The Wizards are the play, +7.5. The Wizards +7.5. And of course, his second one coming in, Ty Lue has the Clippers on minute restrictions. They're pretty much locked into the 8th seed. Nothing to play for. Milwaukee's a half game out of the 1 seed. Still have everything to play for. The Bucks are undefeated this year when Giannis, Middleton, and Holiday and Lopez all play. They're all playing tonight. Bet the Bucks -7.5. He's saying that's good money. Big spread. But again, he just said that the other team has packed it in for the regular season, at least. Those are your 2 plays. So if you need to replay this or rewind this, do that. Those are the sauce picks of the
Bucks
day.
-7.5 and the
Wizards +7.5. So those are your picks for tonight for the NBA slate. So
Wizards are getting 8.5. So that's even more of a reason why you would.
Well, there you go. Let's change that up real quick.
And I want to touch on Scoop's question here.
What?
Scoop is asking, where would you draft DeGrom now that there is the injury issue?
Interesting.
I move him down a little bit, but I guess we're going to know more after tomorrow because they're doing the MRI today. So you would imagine that they would release what's going on. The Mets typically have been very hush on anything Jacob DeGrom injury over the last
anything like
10 months, I would say. So maybe we won't know much. If that's the case and we don't know anything, I'm going to anticipate it being worse because if it's not bad, they'll let everyone know.
Hey, look,
but if they keep this on
whatever
hush,
this is.
Hopefully it's a torn ulnar.
Oh my God,
or something. Right?
You're hoping for tears.
No,
I'm hoping he gets back.
Jacob DeGrom is a nice little player, and I hope he's healthy enough
just
for
like
the Yankees
Lindor
to knock him around. I would love nothing more than DeGrom to be healthy, and then to be like, oh, his velocity is down. All of a sudden, just DeGrom he starts tailing off, not because he's hurt, but because he sucks. That's what I would love for DeGrom.
You're right.
So I don't want any torn anything.
DeGrom is one of the best pitchers in baseball, and they have 2 of the best pitchers in baseball in there.
AJ Pollock for Craig Kimbrell just happened. Kimbrell. So the Dodgers got their closer.
Kimbrell does the thing.
Is AJ Pollock still on the Dodgers?
Does he do the thing where he holds his arm out here? That's the same guy, right? From
the
Red Sox.
The fucking most slappable guy in baseball.
Oh, he's got a big slappable face. Just whack, just Will Smith style. Anyway, so it's been a show. We want to thank Jimmy Palumbo for coming on. We want to thank Dom and, of course, Mark for coming on for the All-Star Vintage podcast. There's been a loaded show today. If you liked the show, which I hope you did, please be sure to like the video on YouTube. You like that, and it helps us out. It helps with the search. And, of course, share the show. Let everybody know about us. We'll be back here on Monday to talk some baseball, talk about how the weekend went. It should be a good one. I'm excited about the weekend. I know Gooch is, it's baby day.
It's gonna be heavy baseball early in the week, next week, leading into opening day on Thursday. But also, as soon as baseball starts, is when we'll kind of be able to dive deep into the NFL draft. I know you guys love the NFL and we love the NFL, so we'll give the people what they want. I think that's our best content right there.
So yeah, the NFL is coming back, and also just so you know, you'll probably hear all about how Gooch dominated our draft on Sunday. So we'll figure out. We'll go over our draft, the strategy. I still have not prepared at all. I should probably do that today at some point to try to do a couple mocks.
I'm about 13 or 14 mocks deep right now.
I'm about 2. I got like B+ both times. But I was very draft best player available according to the app. So they registered that and they're like, oh, he's not an idiot.
I'm just gonna warn you.
Oh, here we go.
About how that app works in terms of the rankings. the Pro Football, the
Draft Wizards,
Wizards app. It's a good app to get your bearings and see kind of how the league is going to play out. But very, very different setup than the ESPN rankings, and specifically our league. Just giving you the heads up. The scoring is
Oh,
not
by the
right.
way, championships game. It's on Monday.
It is on Monday, yeah.
I told you. I'm right. Gooch is wrong. This is incredible. It is a feel-good Friday after all. This is great. But we'll talk about that. We'll preview the championship game. We'll go over obviously the weekend's games. We'll talk some WrestleMania. We'll talk, obviously, got the Fight Factory on Monday. We'll record that as well. So for Sturch and Gooch, all of our guests, Dina for producing, and of course, Wrestling Rob will be back here on Sunday to watch some WrestleMania with me. It has been a show. It has been a Chop Sports Daily, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.